Hey YouTube, gotta have it green here. For those of you who have been following the channel, you know I have a 2013 Ford Mustang GT. Gotta have it green, obviously. Premium, and we've been doing some work to the vehicle, some suspension, appearance work, and with everything we had done, performance-wise, engine-wise. Everything was working well up until we did the Cobra Jet intake manifold with the twin 65mm Ford Racing throttle body and the 102mm Ford Racing cold air intake. We also added 47 pound-per-hour injectors, which were also Ford Racing. At that point, we lost a little bit of drivability down low. All this was being done on a bama email tune. So, you know, we called bama and they suggested data logging the car, which was probably, you know, we figured that would be the next step. But I knew I also wanted to have the car dyno tuned. So I decided to skip the data logging and go directly down to Evans Tuning in East Bangor, PA, Mount Bethel area, close to Jersey. I heard a lot of good things about him. Watched some of his videos on YouTube. You know, very clean looking shop, and a guy who was kind of passionate, not someone who just does it because he figures he can make some money at it, but also does it because you know, he loves working on cars. So made the appointment. The first appointment unfortunately was scheduled for March 14th, which turned out to be the day of the blizzard here in Northeast PA, about 20 some inches of snow. So had to postpone until April 5th, which was yesterday. Drove the car down. We had some good weather yesterday, about 65 degrees, maybe a little bit cooler when my car went on. My car went on about 9:30 in the morning. Took about 3 hours for him to work on it. Takes his time and is very methodical. And as he explained to me, apparently there are a lot of parameters when it comes to tuning the that particular year Mustang, and he really doesn't rush the process, so which is perfectly fine with me, because the way the car runs now is completely different. Really drives pretty much like stock, and for all the work that we did, it was just, it's definitely more pleasurable to drive. I was having some issues at low idle, and especially when the car was cold. When it would warm up, it would get a little better, but you know, overall it was still, you know, bucking a little bit. You could feel something was off until you got up around, you know, 3,500, 4,000 RPM. So he also did a baseline run, and we got it to 440 wheel horsepower. I forgot to check the torque numbers. I'm getting all that information emailed to me. You don't leave there with a sheet, so they kind of give you an email and it shows you the graph and all, you know, everything that he had done. So I'll have that in a few days, but it was 440 wheel horsepower, which was pretty good actually. I was pleasantly surprised. You know, the long tube headers, the 3-inch off-road X pipe. I have a 3-inch over axle, Bassani axle backs. The cold air intake, the intake manifold, the throttle body, the plugs. So that was all being done through bama. And I guess the main issue that he found was a throttle issue. At first I thought maybe it was fuel or air, and basically it was all in the throttle. So he worked very hard to get that set. And you know, he has a hub dyno, so it's kind of neat. It's not the rolling, you know, the drums, which actually I kind of liked. You know, no strapping them down. You take the wheels off, you hook up to the machine, and off you go. Just felt a little bit safer than the rolling dyno. But 3.5 hours on there, and then when you're done, he gets in the passenger seat, you know, with his laptop and hooks it up to the vehicle, and you take it for a ride, just kind of normal driving. And you know, he's just checking to make sure that whatever it was that he saw on the dyno is what he's seeing while you're driving. It's your car. You know, what he has set up is, you know, maybe ideal in most cases, but maybe the way you drive it wouldn't be. So he just kind of takes you along to see if he's kind of matched up your driving style to his tune, I guess is the best way to put it. So we went for, you know, just a normal, you know, speed limit, quote unquote, drive, and then turn around, and then on the way back, there's a little straightaway just before his garage, and he had asked me to put it into third gear and just kind of romp on it. And when I did that, I could feel the difference right away. Just night and day. I mean, even prior, just doing the regular driving, the throttle response, the drivability was just so much more pleasurable. You know, I loved driving the car before, but it was a little nerve-wracking to do all that work and you know, not really feel the benefits until you're up in $4,000, which, you know, that's high RPM for a lot of the driving that I do. You know, don't get me wrong, I get there, but I like to have, I guess, the best of both worlds. I want the car to be drivable, so, you know, when I'm just driving around town, I'm not worried. It looks like you don't know how to drive a stick. It would buck sometimes so bad. So, and then when I gave it that third gear hit, wow. I mean, the difference was instantaneous. First of all, the car dynoed at the end of the tune at close to 480 horsepower and 420 torque at the wheels. And so that was like a pickup of about 40 horsepower, and I think he said it was 30 or 40 torque when he was looking at the numbers. So that's pretty substantial. And you can feel it, especially when the drivability is there and that throttle response is there. You know, even if he didn't pick up any horsepower, just the instant response you get when you mash the throttle just made it feel like you had more power. So I'm going to try and put in, I do have a quick video of the car while it was at the at Evans Tuning. So I'm going to try and put that in with this video so you could see it. Yeah, I mean, thumbs up and hats off to Jeff Evans at Evans Tuning. Just a phenomenal job. I think he's more known for imports, but you would never know it by the way he tuned. He not only tuned my car, but he also tuned a friend's car, and that was another thing. His work ethic was just amazing. We had some issues with my buddy's Mustang, and he refused to leave until that car was running and driving the way it should. He gives you a very livable and safe tune while still getting you horsepower and torque. So you know, if you're in the area, you know, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, you know, it's worth the drive. For me, it was a little over an hour, and well worth it. He's a nice guy, and really did a phenomenal job in tuning the car. So you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to throw a clip up here, and I hope to get some more videos so you could see maybe some inside videos, you know, hear the car from the inside and whatever, which was another thing. I mean, the car just sounds so much better both outside the vehicle and inside the vehicle. You know, for whatever reason, the drone has kind of gone out of it, and that's not me. That was my wife telling me, because, you know, she just noticed right away that the car just seemed to be running better and just sounded better. So, well, let me know what you think. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.